The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us on this Tuesday. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
And we begin this morning with California's brutal heat wave as we are close to breaking temperature records that had been on the books for more than a century. It's also pushing our power grid to the brink, with thousands of customers in Bakersfield and Oildale losing power yesterday. Another flex alert has been issued for today between the hours of 4 and 10 p.m. The California Independent System Operator also issued an emergency alert watch from 5 to 9 today. During an EEA watch, energy deficiencies are expected, and the grid manager will seek to get additional energy from other sources to help avoid the risk of a rolling blackout.
We have now entered the most intense phase of this heat wave. Forecasted demand for Monday and Tuesday is at all-time record levels, and the potential for rotating outages has increased significantly. We need 2 to 3 times as much conservation as we've been experiencing to keep the power on with these historically high temperatures.
Again, during a flex alert, you are asked to turn your thermostat down to 78 degrees or higher. Refrain from using appliances like the dishwasher and washing machine, and then close window blinds and curtains to avoid direct contact with the sun.
One person was seriously hurt in a crash involving 3 vehicles in southwest Bakersfield. It happened last night around 7:30 on Stein Road between Pacheco and District Boulevard. The car is badly damaged. The person with major injuries was taken to the hospital. No word on if anyone else was hurt. BPD says speed may have been a factor here, and it's unclear whether drugs or alcohol were involved.
Amid this extreme heat, we are seeing wildfires pop up across the state. The Route Fire, burning in Castaic near the 5 freeway, has burned more than 5,200 acres. It is 98% contained this morning, but the fire caused major delays for travelers over the holiday weekend, including yesterday. And if you were coming back to Kern County from LA, chances are you were stuck in that 11-mile backup. It took many drivers an additional 90 minutes or longer to get through the slowdown. CHP says 2 lanes of northbound I-5 remain closed between Lake Hughes Road and Templin Highway. And this is why. The fire damaged the road's retaining walls. Today, engineers will take samples of the walls and decide the best course of action to repair them. Until then, though, it is unknown when those 2 lanes will reopen.
At least 2 people have died in a brush fire as it continues to spread rapidly in Southern California. The Fairview fire broke out yesterday just south of the city of Hemet. Crews are battling that blaze from above with helicopters and planes as ground crews attempt to protect structures and dig containment lines. The brush fires burned at least 2,000 acres and destroyed at least 7 structures and damaged several others. At least 3,000 homes are under evacuation orders. Officials have not said when those evacuation orders might be lifted. So far, the fires reached 5% containment. The cause is under investigation.
And the mountain fire burning in Siskiyou County continues to grow. It has burned more than 11,000 acres, and it is 20% contained as of this morning. Firefighters are facing challenges fighting this blaze from the air as plumes of smoke are obstructing views of the ground for aircrafts looking to drop water. Combined with the nearby mill fire, the 2 in Siskiyou County have destroyed more than 100 structures.
Less than 2 hours away from here, near Big Bear Lake, another wildfire threatening homes in the beautiful mountain community. The so-called Radford Fire was spotted around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon in an area between the ski resorts of Snow Summit and Bear Mountain. The fire has scorched 200 acres and is threatening homes. Evacuations have been ordered. No word yet on what sparked the blaze.
And while firefighters here in California are busy with the outbreak of wildfires in the state, some across the country are saving dogs.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Firefighters rescuing 5 dogs from the bottom of a 70-foot cavern. A West Virginia fire department was called to squeeze down to the bottom and save the pups over the weekend.
Found the hole. It was probably 2 feet wide at the top of the hole, and so we harnessed up, went down with ropes and supplies. Because of my stature, I figured on the way there I was probably going to be the one. But
once at the bottom, the dogs were hooked up to the harnesses and ropes and were pulled to safety. All 5 dogs were uninjured, so that's good news, and they are back with their owners.
Yesterday was the last day for spray parks in the city of Bakersfield, but north of the river, Parks and Recreation is keeping its spray parks open one more day. You can visit any of the NOR spray parks today for one last day before they officially close up for the season.
So Madison Grove, Riverview, San Loren, and Silver Oaks parks are open from noon until 4 p.m., while Emerald Cove, North Meadows, Polo, and Sears parks are open from 3 to 7 p.m. In this extreme heat, heat-related deaths are of major concern. U.S. health officials say the heat kills more people in an average year than other weather extremes, adding that older adults, young children, people with mental illness, and chronic diseases are at the highest risk for heat-related illnesses. But officials say all heat illnesses are preventable.
We can prevent the damaging effects of heat illness by staying hydrated, staying cold as much as possible, and then looking after our most vulnerable patient population.
Health officials say people who are perfectly healthy can still be affected by the heat and should be mindful of their well-being.
17 follow-up file now. The Kern County Coroner's Office has identified a man who was pulled from the Kern River at Hart Park this weekend. The coroner's office says 25-year-old Vicente Bautista from Taft was found unresponsive Sunday in the river and confirmed dead. 8 people have now died in the river this year. 6 were visitors from Southern California.
And the family of a different man who's believed to have drowned at Hart Park last month is asking others to be careful in the water. The body of David Workman was pulled from Mirror Lake on August 15th. Friends and loved ones gathered at Hart Park yesterday for a vigil in his honor and asked everyone to be safe.
He had a remote control boat and he went out there to retrieve it, and he didn't make it out of the water, and we don't know what was the cause of death. We don't know if he got caught up on something but I just want to warn everybody, be careful out there because, it's part of the Kern River.
Workman's fiancee Deanne Britt says a blood drive is being held this week at Houchin Blood Bank in honor of him and end his giving spirit.
Speaking of blood drives, Houchin Community Blood Bank is once again partnering with the Kern County Fair for its annual Pint for a Pass promotion. All donors with a successful donation will get 2 free adult tickets to the fair while supplies last. Every donor will also be entered into a drawing for complimentary unlimited ride coupons. This incentive will be offered at all 3 donation centers and mobile blood drives. You can make an appointment on the website hcbb.com or just walk in. The Kern County Fair starts in 15 days.
Now in news across the nation this morning, and a federal judge ruled a special master should be appointed to review the evidence seized from former President Trump's Florida home last month. That person will be tasked with sorting through the documents for personal items and potentially privileged material. The ruling temporarily blocks the Justice Department's investigation into those classified documents. Trump says the Justice Department and the FBI are, quote, totally corrupt, while President Biden went back at Trump and what he calls extreme MAGA Republicans.
The Mar-a-Lago raid was a desperate effort to distract from Joe Biden's record of misery and failure.
They're extreme, and democracy is really at stake. You can't be a democracy when you support violence, when you don't like the outcome of the election.
The judge set a Friday deadline for both Trump's legal team and the Justice Department, recommended a potential special master.
Also across the nation, the community of Uvalde, Texas is starting what they hope will be a new chapter as the children, parents, and teachers who survived start classes for the first time since the tragedy in May. NBC's Wendy Woolfolk has the latest from Uvalde.
A new school year for the Uvalde School District. The first classes since May 24th. That lone gunman shot and killed 19 young students and 2 teachers inside Robb Elementary. The town, the country, left in tears.
My baby, she was scared. I know she was scared. They were all scared. And I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Don't do what you can do as a parent. Go beyond that.
Those tears fueled outrage. An investigation revealed the police response was slow. Officers waited in the hallway for well over an hour before confronting the gunman.
They have to save these children, and they did not do that.
Uvalde's police chief was ultimately fired.
Our babies are dead. Our teachers are dead. Our parents are dead.
3 months. And we have forever to live. I don't know how we're going to do that.
The mayor has promised that no students will return to Robb Elementary until it's demolished and another school built in its place. Children will be spread out to other campuses in the district. Wendy Wolfolk, NBC News, Uvalde, Texas.
17 News is your local election headquarters, and Labor Day celebrates the hard work of Americans across the nation and marks the unofficial end to summer. But in the political world, this day is all about kicking off the general election campaign season. 17's Maddie Gannon has more from the campaign trail of Bakersfield's Kevin McCarthy.
As midterm races across the country hit the crucial last stretch, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy logged thousands of miles this summer, hoping to help the GOP take a majority in the House.
55 years ago, you trusted to have somebody from California come out here. A guy named Ronald Reagan.
It all kicked off at the end of July, where he was a keynote speaker at the Silver Elephant Gala in South Carolina.
You might not think the same of California today, but when I get done, I hope you do.
By August, he was in Rhode Island for GOP House hopeful Alan Fung, before heading to North Carolina to boost Bo Hines.
I really want to thank Bo Hines for being out here listening.
In mid-August, McCarthy traveling to Wyoming, holding a fundraiser for former President Donald Trump-backed Harriet Hageman against GOP Representative and Trump critic Liz Cheney.
Her whole focus has been against one individual, whether she has information or not.
A move Democratic analyst Neil Sinapa says could be key to McCarthy's bid for Speaker.
McCarthy is trying to figure out where he can please the base, and that base is still very heavily that vocal Trump base.
Republican analyst Kathy Abernathy saying McCarthy's fundraising is all about helping the GOP win control in November.
He would do it whether he was a candidate for Speaker or not, because he knows this is the only way to get good policy, is to have a majority of the vote in the House of Representatives.
By the end of August, McCarthy first traveling the West, hitting New Mexico, Nevada, and Oregon, before heading to Michigan.
Over the past month alone, I have traveled to more than 20 states.
A summer on the campaign trail, culminating on September 1st, with McCarthy giving a countering speech to President Joe Biden's primetime address in Biden's own hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Our nation can flourish again, and under a new historic Republican majority, it will.
Maddie Gannon, 17 News.
And now for the latest on monkeypox. Public health officials have announced another case of the disease here in Kern County, bringing our total to 13 probable or confirmed cases locally. Officials say while contracting monkeypox is rare, it can be painful. Symptoms include rash, swollen lymph nodes, body aches, or fatigue.
Kern Public Health is hosting another monkeypox vaccine clinic later this week. It's on Friday at the Richard Prado Center in East Bakersfield. It is at 2101 Ridge Road. The hours are from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. And if you plan to get a shot, you're asked to go to the Kern Public Health's website and fill out a registration form before you head out.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.